growing up in a generation, in a culture, in a society that did not protect us, that did not care about us, did not teach us to have self-esteem, that did not teach us to love God, that did not teach us what it meant to be good children, to obey the Most High. Some of these things that we have learned coming into the truth, we look back on our lives and we know how much we were robbed. I know for a fact I grew up believing that I lived a good life, that I had a good childhood, because I don't know what government cheese. I know what government cheese tastes like, but it wasn't because it was being eaten in my house. You understand? I don't know what it's like to shop at Payless. Payless. I don't know what it's like to, to not be able to get toys on Christmas. I didn't live that life. So I felt like I lived a good life. I knew cats that was poor, that was broke, that ate government cheese, that had food stamps. You know what I'm saying? And I was taught and raised to not think that made me better than anybody, but to be thankful for what the Lord had given me. And because I was not poor growing up, I thought I had a good childhood. And I come into the truth and begin to learn things. And I think back to when I was first introduced to sex through videotapes, because I knew how to work a VCR. And I'm playing in my uncle's room and find a videotape under the mattress and put it in the VCR. And the things I'm seeing on the TV, there's no reason that I should have been able to have that experience. Somebody should have been watching me. Somebody should have cared enough to make sure that this kid somebody should have the uncle shouldn't have had the videotape. The VCR shouldn't have been in his room. Somebody should have been watching to make sure that the kid ain't in the room with the videotape and the TV to watch what the nasty uncle was watching on the videotape. And then to see those things at 4 or 5 years old, and then to go to little girls, little boys that I knew and say, hey, man, I saw this thing. We should try it. We should do it. And I come into the truth and I look back and I'm like, where the fuck were the adults? Where were the people who were supposed to be watching over us? Where was the care and the love and the attentiveness to these kids? Why were we allowed to just run amok? And then I come into the truth and then we're told that we have to forgive. We're told that we have to, allow ourselves to become new. I have to become a man who was not that little boy who was exposed to sex at 4 years old. I got to become a man who's not that little boy who had a girlfriend from when I was 7 to 10. I got to become a man that was not neglected, that was not abandoned, that did not grow up with mommy issues and with daddy issues. And I got to become a man that didn't grow up chasing vagina my entire life. My literal whole life from I'm 5 years old, I've been chasing sex. That was the most important thing in life as being from a boy to a man. I watched my uncles do it. I watched my cousins do it. I did it. Then I came into the truth and was told you could have more than one wife. Well, goddamn, you mean it? So there's nothing wrong with having multiple women. Oh, well then I'm just going to be I'm going to marry all the women and keep all of them. I'm not throwing none of them away. If they leave, they fall off. Hey, that's on them, man. I'm going to do it because it's honorable and it's righteous. Until you wake up and realize that, okay, I have come into the truth and I have become a new man. But I am still that little boy that's been chasing women since I was 5. And being the man version of that boy is not acceptable to the Lord. Being the man version of that boy is not who the Lord called me to be. Being the man version of that boy is not acceptable. So how do I free myself from that? I have to forgive all the people who enabled that little boy to have to grow up in that world. And then once I am done forgiving the people who enabled that child to grow, I now have to go back And I have to forgive myself. I have to forgive myself for not recognizing and knowing that being that boy and growing into that man was not acceptable. I have to be able to say I have to be able to say, as the man I am today, to that boy, it's okay to be better now. It's okay to let it go. It's okay to start over. It's okay to let go of the weight of all of the things that forced you to have to become who you needed to be to survive and make it in the world. Now, I'm speaking this personally, but for all of you, it means something different. You know, not everybody's story, not everybody's struggle is my struggle. Not everybody's baggage is my baggage. And that was a little piece of it dealing with just being a boy, being exposed to things at a young age and it being a major part of my life until I became a man. But that's not all of it. It's not everybody's trauma is sexual. Not everybody's trauma is exposure. Not everybody's, trauma is as simple as I'm making mine out to be. But the process is the same nonetheless. To forgive those who actively participated in the molding of who you were in the world, or those who passively participated, who did not protect you, did not watch over you, did not teach you any better. You're going to have to forgive them. And then you'll have to double back and forgive yourself, because a lot of what has been done to us in the world, we can find ways to forgive those who did the evil, but it's hard to forgive ourselves for allowing it. It's hard to forgive ourselves for suffering. It's hard to say, you didn't know any better. There was nobody there to protect you. It's not your fault. Because some of the stuff that we've lived through, we were there for it. Everything I just described, I was there. I remember it. It's not like it happened to me. I participated in it. Hell, I was fourth. I was fourth going with it. I was, you know, I never felt like a victim. I never felt like something happened to. So then how do I forgive myself for being that person? Because that person was a piece of shit, was a horrible cat, was living evil, doing wicked. He doesn't deserve forgiveness because he was wrong. He doesn't deserve, any pity or anybody to feel for him. He knew what he was doing. And he was all right with it. Hell, he enjoyed a lot of it. That's the part that you have to fight yourself so that you can forgive yourself. A lot of us do not believe that we deserve forgiveness. We don't believe that we should be, that we need to be given a clean slate, that we need to be given a reset. Some of us feel like, no, I need to suffer more. Some of us feel like, nah, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve the reset. I don't deserve to be able to be a man of God. I don't deserve to be able to present myself as something perfect before the Lord because I'm so dirty, because I'm so disgusting, because I'm so filthy. Some of us, because we're still struggling with that person who we were in the world, we don't even see that that's someone who should be dead. We see that there's still someone that's someone that's in us right now that we fighting with. And that nigga, he right here. So how can I forgive somebody that ain't never really died, that never really went away? They haven't died, they haven't gone away because you haven't put them to rest. The only way to put them to rest is to forgive. The only way to put them to rest is to say, you know what? You didn't know any better. You did those things, you learned those things, you became that person because that's what you needed to be to survive. And I understand. It was it was rough, and you needed to survive, and you did what you had to do. But now we're not in survival mode no more. We don't have to be that way. And I forgive you for all the things you did just trying to find your way in the world. But we don't need to find our way anymore because now we have the Lord to guide us. We don't need to find our way anymore because now we have the truth. Now we can just go ask questions. Now we can just go ask for counsel. Now we can just go ask, what do I do next? And get the answer. And I'm not going to be able to get those answers if I still let you convince me that we know what's best, that I know what's best. The reason that you have to forgive that person you used to be and allow them to be put to death is so that you can become someone who asks for an answer, accepts it with no questions, and then just does it. You can't be who you were in the world and be someone who accepts the answers that God gives you and obeys. That goes opposite to the survival person you created in the world in order to make it out of the world. So you have to forgive others so that you can forgive yourself so that you can be able to start over.